Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Rohit. Today we'll talk about the PPM. PPM is the Project Portfolio Management. So this is the complete training video for PPM, Project Portfolio Management. We are going to segregate that multiple application into different differentiations, and pretty much 9 to 10 session will complete this course, and then each course have a meaningful application. So the PPM is a broader scale, the Project Portfolio Management is a broader scale application will part the multiple application. So first of all, I want to talk about that what all are the plugins we are going to install during the PPM. So very first thing is that we are going to install the PPM standard and the agile development. So this is the optional. Agile development is the optional. If you don't install the agile development, you won't be able to understand that. You won't be able to create the hybrid project or the agile task. We'll come those points later, but let's see what are the plugins we are going to install. So if you go to your ServiceNow plugins module, if you search the PPM standard, so this is the application we have already installed, the PPM standard, and after installing that, we are able to see multiple modules. Apart from that, we need to be install that agile development. This is the agile development applications that also have to be installed, and as I mentioned, this is the optional plugins. If you don't install that, still you will be able to understand, or you will be able to find all those details. Okay, so these two plugins are need to be installed. So now, as I mentioned, that idea management is the idea portal from where end user will be create the idea. So they don't have to have any role for specifically to create an idea. The idea manager is a bigger role. They have to go through each and every idea and decide that which idea is actually needs to be converted as a demand. So idea is the first part where to creation of the demand, although demand can be created manually or directly without idea. So very first thing is the idea is the trigger point. When the idea will be created, if it is approved, it will be created demand. So demand can be created in two ways. One, it manually can be created. Another will be it can be created from the idea. So once the demand will be created from the demand, there will be necessary fine tuning will be happen. So demand will be keep on adding that multiple details like who will be that actually stakeholders, what will be their assessments. Based on their assessment and based on their based on their assessment and, and based on their inputs, it will be create assessments, and then based on that, demand manager will be decide that it has to be create a project or not. So after demand, it will be create a project. Now in the project, it can be have two types of project. It's normally can have the waterfall model until unless you enable that agile development plugins. If you enable that, it can be waterfall model, it can be agile, it can be hybrid. And then based on that, project is a bigger skill from where you can manage the project, you can create a project task, you can create the story, you can create the change request, you can allocate the resource. They are the parallelly. These things are running the parallelly. So resource plan will be there inside the project, time card, time sheet will be there. And all those stuffs together will become to that under a portfolio. So as a portfolio, like a digital marketing is my portfolio. Inside the digital marketing, I have the project called enhance that digital marketing quiz. So this is my portfolio is holding that actually the project and demand, and program is basically nothing. It's logically divided. Like if you remember that every year in a portfolio there will be many program will be running, and each program can have multiple demands and project. We'll be no more in broader scale in the next slide. So this is the diagram of this PPM. If you see, these are the end user, and this end user have completely access on the idea portal. Each and every user, still if they don't have any access, they can create idea. And then idea manager is a bigger role. They have to be decide that which idea have to be accepted or which idea have to be rejected. So once this idea is accepted, it will be converted to a demand. So demand once the demand will be created, demand will be refined, and then you will be able to see that how the demand task will be created. The stakeholder will be added, assessment will be done. Based on the assessment, demand manager will decide that the demand has to be approved or rejected. So if the assessment, after the assessment, it by the stakeholder, if the demand manager understand this assessment is the result is very poor, we don't need the demand, they can be rejected. So after your demand is approved, the demand will be created. From the demand, it will be created the project. So once the project will be created, project can be divided into the three parts. One is the waterfall model, another is the agile, and the hybrid. There will be three parts. If you don't install the agile plugins, you will be able to see only the waterfall task. You won't be able to create the agile, and you won't be able to create the hybrid. So once you install this your plugin called agile development, then only you will be able to see the agile. And hybrid means that waterfall plus agile is the hybrid. And then the project can have the product, and then the project can be associated with from the project it can be created the incident, it can be created the story. Basically from the waterfall model you can create the change request, from the agile task you can create the story sprint. Those are the tasks you'll be able to do that. I'll simply go to the ServiceNow instance and I'll show you that what are the modules you'll be able to see. Very first module you will be able to see, if you search with the idea, this is the idea module that you will be able to see. And this is the idea portal which is available for every user. They will be able to access the idea portal. Next module, the demand. This demand module will be able to see all these demand, related demand, and you can be able to create the demand from the idea. Otherwise you can manually can be created the demand. Next is that the third topic is the project, which is the bigger picture. The project, if you see that, if you type the project, you have two options. One is the project administration, another is the project. So we'll talk about first the project. So project have an investment portal that we'll discuss in our sessions. We'll discuss the portfolio dashboard. We'll discuss that how the portfolio affect the program workbench, program dashboard. These topics we'll discuss. And again, we'll talk about that how the project will be created from the demand, and then how we can enhance or keep on changing the demand, we keep on changing the projects. So those topics we'll discuss, and last and not the least, the timesheet. We'll definitely discuss that how the project manager will create the timesheet for them. So that's it for today. Next video, we'll be able to upcoming video will be see all these sessions one by one. So to get this video, please subscribe and hit on the bell icon. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Rohit. Today we'll talk about the idea into ServiceNow. So idea application is the part of the PPM application. So we'll talk the idea today, and we'll go one by one after that. Okay. So first we'll talk today idea. So what is idea and how we can do that? So idea is idea is actually in the portal. So idea portal is your centralized location to collect, curate and promote ideas. So any user can create idea, even the user don't have any role, they can create the idea, and that idea, if that idea is accepted, it can be create a demand, project, epic or story from that idea. So let me go to the system first and show you that how it looks like. So this is my ServiceNow demo instance, and here what we will do, we type the idea. Once we type the idea, as I am the admin, I am able to see all these details here. So normally the end user will be only see this getting start and idea portal. So let me impersonate an end user and show you that how it looks like. So very first thing is that I have already an end user. Let's go back to the CC user table, and this table have a one user called end user. So let's type that end user. So this is my end user, which doesn't have any role, any kind of role. So you can see this user completely blank role and completely doesn't have any group. So let me impersonate that user and show you that how the idea portal looks like. So if I impersonate and clicking the impersonation, I'm going to impersonate the user. So now my end user is impersonated, and you can see by default they have some of the application available. Now here I'll type the idea, and if you see, if I type the idea, the end user have only two module. One is the getting started, which is nothing but the ServiceNow docs application, a docs link, and this is the idea portal they have link. So I'll click that idea portal. So any users can create a idea. So once they open the idea, it is the idea portal from where they can create the idea. So if you see, this is the standard out-of-box idea portal looks like, and then here, if you see all the idea, the people will be able to see, and it's have the 56 result right now. In the my idea, there is no idea for right now. This is the top voted ideas. So you can see these are the top voted idea. And here you have a button called create an idea from where you can create a idea. So if I go to this all idea, you can see they have some number count. This is the 21, this is the 0. These are the voting count for the idea. Now let's open any idea. So you can see this is the idea which I have created. This is the idea, some idea which is created by different user. So let's open one idea. Before opening the idea, you can see the idea short description is showing here. This is the count of the vote count. If you want to add the vote, you can add. If you want to remove the vote or dislike that, you can put that bottom line. Here it is showing the category, who is created, when it is created, and what is the state of that idea. So let's open one of the idea. So once you open the idea, as I am the end user, I can't do anything. I can only subscribe so that whenever that idea state will be changes, I will be able to get notified. Nothing else. But if you see here, in the top, it is saying the idea short description. Here, I can just add the vote or add like or dislike. Now here you can see all the comments that created for this idea, and then here you can put your own comments. So you can put your own comments and click comments here to add the comments in this idea. So now you can see I have put my comments here. Similarly, it can be reply like a chat. It can be keep on replying on that each and every comments. So you can keep on replying on each and every comments here. Now going back to that, also you can see this idea or related. This is the related idea of this one. So system is automatically searching and gathering information and showing the related idea into the right side. Now going back to the home page, we'll create our own idea and see how it looks like. So before that, you can also start searching on the top. You can start filtering by the state, by the category. These are the categories, these are the state, and even you can start sorting by created, recent, or most voted. That way also you can do. Now I'll go and create one idea here. So here, when I click the create, I have to put the title of the idea. Let's say that portal enhancement, something like that. Once I put the portal enhancement, you can see by default related idea is keep coming on, right? So it is searching the keyword and showing that you can see that our keyword is the portal enhancement. It keeps searching on the enhancement keyword. It keeps searching on the portal. So you can select any of these and then you can, go to that idea. You can select that idea and go to that idea if you don't want to create unnecessary duplicate idea. Now here you can create or you can put the category maximum 1 to 5 maximum category you can do. These are the out of box category. You can select any of this category to categorize your idea. So I'll click that 1 and 2 category maybe. And then after that you have to put the description for what is your idea. So I'll put that enhance service portal. And then after that, I'll just simply click the create and it will create a idea. Once you can see that once I submit the idea, the state is right now submitted and it have the two category that I have selected, and this is the description. Now in the right side, you can see three dotted icon. You can click and edit, keep on edit that our idea. Now, if you go and click the My Idea, so you will be able to see all the ideas that I have created at that moment. So this is my idea which I have created. Now going back to the state, how the idea state works. So whenever you create a idea, so whenever you create a idea, it goes to the submitted state. Right now you can see my idea is in right now submitted state. So very first thing is the idea will be submitted by end user. After that, manager will be review that idea, and then after that it will be create a task, and then a task can be anything called story, it can be demand, it can be projects, and then after creation of the task, it will be moved to the backlog, and after that it have the it will be go to the plan development, and then finally it will be completed. Once it is completed, the end user will notify by the email. The whoever is submitted, they will get a email. Now there is other state which is duplicate. So whenever the idea will be reviewed, the reviewer can think that this is a duplicate idea. They can just mark as a duplicate. If the idea need more information, they will select the need more information. Or if the idea cannot be implemented, they will select that idea cannot be implemented. So let's go back to that our system, and then I'll impersonate that admin or any idea admin and show you that how the flow looks like. So I'll just end the impersonation and refresh the idea portal. So now you can see all the idea is right now showing to as an admin. I'll simply open the idea which is created, and then as I told that after that idea needs to be reviewed. So I'll review that idea. So for review, I'll click here, and then as I am the platform admin, I have the option edit and delete options. So I can edit, I can delete, or I can open in the platform. I'll simply open in the platform. It will be open in a pop-up view, and then here I can create a task. I can create a demand. Now you can see so far the state is submitted. Let's take example. I am reviewing this detail, so I'll just move to that under review and update that. So now once I click the under review, you can see that the status is reflecting as a under review. Now what we have to do, we have to, as a whoever is a reviewer, they have to click here and open in platform, and then they have to create a task. I said that in this stage, from demand, it will be create a task, right? So let's go back to that our here. The whoever is getting reviewed, they will simply click create task, and it will create the demand, and as well as the state will be automatically changed to that in backlog. So click create task. Now I am the admin, that's why I am able to see these three pop-up. I'm able to see the pop-up, and where I have ability to select demand and project. But if it is created by, or if it is the action is taken by that idea admin, they won't be get this pop-up. It will be directly create a demand. So I'll select the task type is demand and simply click OK. So now you can see the top here, the demand is successfully created and the state automatically changed to backlog. So now after completion of this, after that, whenever your demand will be ready, you can change the state to planned, and then after the development, and finally you can complete your portal. Going back to that, what are the role is actually needed. So in the idea portal, any user, I talked about that end user can create the idea. They don't need any access to the idea portal. They don't need any role for accessing the idea portal. Now we have a three role. Idea admin is the highest role, which have the access to create idea, edit idea, and modify anything. The lower of this one is the idea manager professional, which have access to the idea as well as demand or projects, and the idea manager role, which have only access to the idea portal. They don't have access to that demand or maybe the projects. So idea admin is the, highest here. The second is the idea manager professional, and then third is the idea manager is the lowest role in this idea portal. Now let's go back to that as an admin and see how the backend is designed. If you go back to that backend and type idea, you will be able to see complete module for the idea portal. Very first thing is that idea modules, which has that type is internal, and this is the idea category where the all the category you are showing in the idea portal. These are the category. If you want, you can create your own categories. Now, here is the Idea Manager dashboard where you can see the complete analytic format, that by idea, by state, by date, everything you can see. So now you can see that in backlog, it's the one demand is getting created, and this is the complete background you will be able to see by this dashboard. Also, if you type idea.list, you will be able to see the complete idea backend table. So backend table for the idea is the idea. So actual table name is the idea, where you will be able to see that actual idea. And now you can see that the number, title, submitted by demand, these are the things. And the demand is from where the idea is actually getting created. From the idea, the demand is getting created. So let's open one of the idea and see how the backend also looks like. So it is pretty much similar to that portals. It was actually the backend view that was you were seeing in the backend, and where you can see that the idea title submitted by the idea description, and this is the create task button that you are seeing in the portal also. So it is pretty much similar. I think that's it for today. If you have any question, please let me know. Also, please like, subscribe, and share with your community. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Rohit. Today we'll talk about the demand management. So in the last sessions, we talked about that how the idea portal looks like and how idea can be created, and from the idea how we can create the demand. So today we'll talk about what are the process we follow for the demand. So very first thing is that I'll go to this idea that last time we have created and show you that how the demand looks like after creation of the idea. So this is the idea we have created last time called portal enhancement, and from this idea it was generated one demand called portal enhancement. So let's open this idea first and see the respective demand how it was looks like. So in the task it was showing the demand number. I'll quickly open the demand and show you that how it was looks like. So as you can see, that demand that is created from the idea is the basically in the draft state, and then the name which is coming from the idea short descriptions, and then the idea description is copied over the demand description. Also, you can see the demand have a category. One is the strategic and another is the operational. So what is the strategic and what is the operational category? Or strategic demand means that from this demand it can be created epic story enhancement. And similarly, operational, if that demand is in operational, it means that from there it will be created the change request, it will be created the defects, not the enhancement or story. So there is a two types of demands. And if you see that whenever I select that operational, it's have the option called changes or conversation. And if I strategy, the type is project or no conversation. From the strategic, it can be created the projects, and from the operational, it can be created the change request. So as who can be able to access the demand? Okay, So the demand can be accessible by demand can be created by any user. So if I remember, we have created a last time called end user. If the end user, even the user who don't have any role, they can also create a demand. So you can see the demand and the self-service module, they also can be created a demand, but definitely it is have the limited fields. You can see that only name, collaborator, business case, risk planning, and these other fields are only available. And even if they can type the my demand, they will be able to see all the demand they have created. Right now the user don't have created any demand, they will be able to see the demand, but they don't have if they submit this demand, they don't have much broader access to that demand. It is now right now is saved and draft state, and they can just click the submit demand to submit. Once they have submitted the demand, it will be actually read only for them. So then the question will be the who is actually going to use the demand, or who have the full control on the demand. So demand manager is a role which have the full access to the demand. So I'll just end the impersonation and go back to the demand. So I am going to again open this portal enhancement demand that we have created basically. And once I open the demand, you can see the demand is right now in the draft state. It means that the demand is not properly rectified, that what all should be come from here. Okay, so demand is completely in a submitted state. Now here we have to see that few options. Very first thing is that when the start date for the demand, so we'll select the start date, maybe some case around from 2 days to the next 2 3 months. Okay, and here you can see that type is the projects we have selected, and then if I scroll back, we have a details section. In the details sections, we will be able to see few details. Very first thing is the right side, you can see there is a field called idea, and this is showing the idea is basically the idea number which is created recently from, because this demand is created from the idea, that's why it is showing idea number. If the demand is created directly without from idea, that can be also done, and in that case the idea field won't be visible. Now here is the thing, we have to select the portfolio. I'll quickly select the portfolio that I have. So I'll select the test portfolio here, and then we have the options called program. I think I don't have program right now, so let's see that. Yes, there is a one program called CSI. I can select that, and then investment class. I'll select the run investment type. Which what is the investment type? I'll select that end user experience, and the demand manager. I have to select some user as a demand manager. And here we go. You can see there is a no user as a demand manager, because the for the user, or the user where you are going to select that, they have to have demand manager role. So let's go and create a user. I'll quickly create and add the demand manager role. So demand manager user is created. I will go to the role and add the IT underscore demand underscore manager role. So demand manager have a access full control on the demand. So I'll type that IT. And once I add the role, there are many role which is added, inheritant role. So now I'll go here and click the demand manager. I should be able to access one demand manager which is have the IT demand manager role. That's it. Again, coming back to that here, priority you can select department, business unit, project manager, whatever things you can, if you want, you can select those, and then click the save, or some you can submit the demand. So demand manager role, who have the demand manager, they have to rectify the demand. They have to keep on rectifying the demand. Now going back here, you can see one stakeholder is added, which is the able tutor. How it is added? Because this is added from this portfolio that we have selected, test portfolio. Now, if you see here, this is the stakeholder is a different table where you can see that where you can add the stakeholder. So I'll just, if you want to add few more stakeholder, so all these stakeholder, whenever you will create a demand and select the portfolio and then move to the submitted state, stakeholder will be automatically come from that portfolio. Okay, so stakeholder is directly associated with the portfolio. So let's create one more portfolio or one more stakeholder here. So for the stakeholder, you can see DMN stakeholder register, that is the table where I have to select the user. So let's say this is the user, and here we have to select the portfolio, and then here you have to select the level of interest, assessment recipient yes, approver yes, and then few other details, and submit that. So next time, it means that the test portfolio have two stakeholder right now, and then next time, if any demand which is created and have this portfolio called test portfolio, by default, automatically the stakeholder will be come from that portfolio. Okay. Now going back to the next tab, business case. Here is the business case where you can fill from some business details called strategies, goals, whatever details you want to fill, that you can fill up here. So you can select the strategies. These are the and then goals. I don't have any goal. So these are the details you can automatically fill up. They are the risk performance. These are the field is straightforward string field you can fill up. Going back to that, next very important tab is the finance tab. So what is the finance? So if you see, the finance have one very important field is the capital expense. So what is the capital expense? So if you are purchasing anything, so suppose you are developing for let's example the enhancement service portal. To enhance this service portal, you might need to see user experience in a mobile. So you are purchasing some mobile or you are purchasing some devices. Those are the capital expenses which will be shown here, and the operating expenses is nothing but daily to daily, means that you have a 10 developers. For that 10 developers, you have to be expend some amount of time, some amount, that will be the operational expense. So capital expense plus operating expense is total planned cost, and then what is the benefit you will get, expected benefit you will get, you have to put that. So by that, it will be subtract from the total planned cost to the financial benefit cost. So I'll show you that and this quickly. Now going back, here you can see that cost plan, right? So we are going to create cost plan, and then based on the cost plan, by default, the financial details will be pre-populated. Let's see. So I'll click here and leave that. So first cost plan name could be the device. We'll select the fiscal period from where to where. So our development, I have mentioned that it will be started from the January, and then it will be end to the so far August. So what I'll do, I'll put that 2020 here and then select January, and then end period is August. So let's select that August here. So till January to the August, we'll use that. We have an expense called device, and then the cost expense maybe the $1,000 we are going to expend, and then the cost type here, our case we are going to select the cost type. I'll show you that. So you can see there are 10 cost type. If you want your own cost type, you can create it that. So each cost type, if you see here, hardware capex and opex, there is a two difference. One is the capex means the capital expense, and opex means the operational expense. So we are going to select the hardware capital expense and then submit that. So going back to that, if you go back to the demand, you can see that capital expense right now is the $1,000. Now going back here, I'll add one more capital expense called developer, and this time it's not a capital expense, right? So we'll select that labor opex, which is the operational cost, and here we are going to select that unit cost is the $500, and starting period we can say the same time. Now I'll click and save. Now, if you notice that if I scroll down here during the cost plan, you will be able to see January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. So our starting time is the January and ending time is August, and then total unit cost is the 500, which is divided by various format. Each month have $62.5 expenditure. So it is breaking down all the cost and showing you in the breakdown. So now we added the $1,000 equal to capital expense, and then 500 is the operational expense. So let's go back to the demand and see how it looks like. So here is our demand. You can see that capital expense is the $1,000, and then operating expense is the $500, and then total planned cost is the $1,500, and then you can see the financial return is in bracket and the ROI is minus, because this is our so what we will do, we are putting that maybe by this, our financial benefit will be 5,000. I'm just putting, and let's save that. So it will be the calculation will be happen, financial benefits minus total plan cost. It will be show here financial return, and this ROI will be calculated. Let's save that. So now if you see here, the financial return is 3500, it's showing right now, ROI right now showing. And now what we can do, we can move this demand to our screening state. So what we'll do, I'll just click the screen here and the demand will be moved to the screening state. Once the demand is moved to the screening stage, and then we'll see that there is a two assessments is getting created, and these two assessments are assigned to, one is the Abel Tutor, another is the Abraham Lincoln. And if you see the from where these assessments are coming, these are coming from the stakeholder which they have added, and their assessment recipient was checked. The assessment recipient was yes, that's why the two assessment was created. Now, based on what actually assessment will be generated, if you go back to the assessment, before you move to the screening stage, I was about to show that assessment data. This assessment have impact, risk, value, t-shirt, size, score, and then here is the checkbox is checked, assessment required. So if the assessment required checkbox is true, the assessment will be generated. If it is unchecked, the assessment won't be generated at the screening stage. Now I'll impersonate that user called Abraham Lincoln and show you that I'll do a assessment. So I'll go and impersonate the and do a assessment. In the left side, if you type assessment, in the left side, if you type assessment, and you can see that there is a module called My Assessments and Survey. Click on that, and then the assessment that is showing here, the type is the demand, and this is the demand short description, and it is in ready to text state. I'll take the assessment, the user will take the assessment, and then you can see there are various questions which is coming. We have to give some answer. So let's put that some answer on average basis and submit. So our assessment is completed. Let's go back to the demand again. So going back to that, we have another assessment called Able Tutor. I'll quickly go and complete the assessment. I'll go here and then impersonate the user and complete the assessment. Now, you will be noticed one thing that the assessment data or assessment score is changed based on our two assessment we have taken care. Previously, notice that the score was 0 basically, and then this value was all value was 0. But after completion of this assessment, this value changes. And as a demand manager, this assessment, I should know that this demand should go to next step or not. Basically, whenever the assessment will be done, assessment will be taken care by this user. The after completion of this all this assessment, you will be able to see these data will be changes here. Now, next step is that our assessment is done. We have to go back to the approval. But unfortunately, the demand have out of box approval is not working. You might need to complete. I mean, the approval should be generated from these two checkbox. The approval should go back to that approvals, but it is not working. So you have to build your custom logic to complete that. So I simply go to the approved state, and now you can see that there is nothing new approval is generated. No new approval is generated. Here is the demand task. You can create multiple tasks for the demand if you want. Right now, we'll talk about the one of the important thing is called RIDAC. So R means the risk. So suppose in the demand, someone generated a risk. So let's say generated the risk call. We'll put a risk here called devices. So this is the risk. I am highlighting that this is the risk, and then here the mitigation plan, what should be taken care, and then work notes. So I generated a risk, and then once the risk is generated, you'll be able to see here in this bottom. So this risk is generated, and then here is the probability. Now what I'll do here, I'll open this risk. Now, once you generate a risk, you will be able to convert this risk to a issue. So I'll click here, convert to the redact, and see. So this is the conversion type. Once the risk is generated, you can convert that risk to a decision, action, request, or change. So let's take a actions. I'm just trying to create some actions, and then the action item is assigned to some user. called Able Tutor, and then whatever action item I'm assigning, I can click and OK. So this risk will be converted to a actions, and that action item has to be taken care by the particular user. So if I go back to this demand right now, so if I go back to the demand, you can see this is the risk, and then this is the actions I have created for this able tutor who is the architect. They have to take some actions. And once I open the actions, I can, as a able tutor, I can say, okay, all right. So what I can do, I'll create a change request and purchase some devices. For that, what we'll do, I'll click the request changes, and then I'll click close actions, and then change will be assigned to some different, maybe the user will okay, myself, I'll assign that a change to my name. I'll select one of the user, and then I'll select the close action and okay. It means that these actions will be close complete, and it will be generate a change request, and then that change request have the all the details. Okay. Now going back to the demand here, you will be able to see one redact data. So this is my demand, and now if I click the view RIDAK, so you will be able to see all these data. Now finally, so here is the things you can even that in that even in the requirement tabs you can create the highlighted you can highlight that requirement details here. You can show here. You can create the risk. You can create the issue, decision, actions, and request change. All the things can be all the discussion can be documented here inside the demand. And finally, demand will be closed by you can see that here is the options, the close demands, when the demand will be closed. So here is the options, two option is available on the creation of the project, on closure of the projects. Okay, and then a project's calculation is automatic or manual. So it means that whenever your demand is created and when the demand will be closed, if you create a project, the demand will be closed, or else you can select this option on closure of the project. It means that whenever the project will be closed at that time, you want the demand to be closed. So right now I'll click here create projects, and once I click the create projects, this demand will be closed. It means that all the information inside the demand should be cascaded to the project, and then the demand should be closed. Otherwise you can select the different options called on closure of the projects. So I'll click the create project. So once I click the create projects, you can see demand is automatically shifted to the closed state and the project is created. I'll open that project and quickly show you. So here you can see the projects is created, project name, project descriptions, and then all the details. I mean the approved plan started, plan ended, everything is there. Risk is already copied over, action, risk, change, stakeholder, everything is copied over from the demand to the project cost plan. Everything is copied over, and that's the reason it is closed. That demand is closed. Now we'll talk about in the next video we'll talk about the project. Thank you very much. Have a great day. If you have any question, please let me know in my comment sections, and please do like, subscribe, and share your community. Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Rohit. Today we'll talk about the project management. So last few days we talked about the PPM module. So this is the continuation part of the PPM module called projects. So last few days we discussed that how we can create the idea, how we can create the demand, and from the idea how we can convert the demand, and from the demand how we can create the project. So today we'll basically talk about the projects. Before I start the video, please like, share and subscribe my channel to get these types of video. If you get value from my video, please share with your community. So project is a bigger thing, so we'll split it into the various part and we'll discuss one by one. So very first thing I want to discuss about the execution time. When your project is getting created, it have a very important parameter called execution time, which is the by default will be created the waterfall model. If you go to the plugins, there is a one more plugin called Agile plugins. If you have not installed the plugin, this execution time will be remain read only. You cannot change the execution time. Once you install the plugins, you will be able to see in the drop down there is a three options called execution type. One is the waterfall model, another is the agile, and third is the hybrid. Hybrid means that waterfall plus agile. So execution type will be this read-only field will be enabled if you only install the plugin called agile. I'll show you. So if you can see my screen, here is the Agile development. It have a matching three apps, which is that Agile development unified backlog, Agile development 2.0 ATF test, and Agile development 2.0. These three combined package is called Agile development. If you turn on this Agile development plugins, then only your project execution type will be enabled. Otherwise, this field will be remain read only. I change these to hybrid. So what is the agile? What is the waterfall model? Let's discuss that. Waterfall model means that you can create a project task. From the project task, you can create the change request. But in the agile method, you can create sprint, you can create story, everything you can do by agile type. And hybrid is the combination of the agile and the waterfall model. So let's change that to hybrid and save that. So once you change the project type is hybrid, you will be able to see few more related link called agile planning tracking create agile phase. So these two related links are new, and also if you scroll down you will be able to see one tab called agile phase story epic. These are the new tabs will be available after you change your project execution type from your normal to, from the waterfall to the hybrid or agile. So these are story epics and then create agile phase, these are the coming from the agile. Okay. Now today we'll not talk about this project task or agile phase. We'll talk about basically few minor things in the projects. Very first thing is that if you remember that this project is created from a demand, and whatever information was present from the demand, it's directly copied over from the demand. And if you see the details, portfolio, it's already set and which is coming from the demand, and the program is also coming from the demand only. We'll talk another session, the portfolio and program, in the later part. We'll talk today finance part. So in the finance part, few values are copied. Last time we discussed that the planning OPEX is 500, and then planning capital we discussed about the 100, and planned benefit we manually put into 5,000. So now today what we'll do, here you can see the budget cost is completely blank right now. What we'll do, we'll create a budget. To create the budget, what we'll have to do, you have to click the project budget, and here you have to define the project budget. So this is the financial year of 2022, and our capital budget maybe capex budget might be 5,000, and then OPEX budget is the 4,000. Let's take an example like that. And then total budget is the 9,000. So $9,000 is our total budget for this project, and then this is divided by to the capital budget and the operational budget. Before that, you can see that our budget cost is right now showing in the left side. You can see that the zero. Now, once I click OK, it budget will be updated here. And also, if you see here, if I scroll down, before I do that, if I scroll down, project here, everything is right now blank until unless I create a budget. So let's create a budget for that project. So we click OK. So project budget is created, and right now the project budget is the 9,000. Okay. Now, if you go back to that, if I scroll down here, you can see that in the project budget section, it have that the breakdown called financial year 2020. The capital budget is this is the one, and this is the operational budget, and total budget is that. So it is already coming from there only. Now we'll talk about that plan benefit. If you remember that the plan benefit we manually put to our previously what we did, the plan benefit we put from our actually manually and the demand. So it is copied from there. So what we'll do, we'll remove that and put as a 0 and save that first. What we'll do, the plan benefit can be populated from here, the monetary benefit plan. So let's do that. I'll click new here, and instead of manually putting there, we can define the monetary benefits like that. So what we'll do once you save that, you can see the planned benefit is 10,000, because which is coming from. So this, you can see the plan benefits is coming from 10,000, which is coming from here, the monetary benefit plan, which is coming here. So non-monetary benefits is the another section where you can create the multiple things, but these won't be affect your plan benefit, or this won't be affect your financial. So let's create another non-monetary benefit plans. I'll click here. Basically, if you notice that this is pointing, the benefit plan is pointing to the same table, only difference is the benefit type. So if you change that monetary benefit, you can see the financial sections. If you select the non-monetary, you will be able to see that this is the non-monetary details. And here I have the different way. So let's do that measure. You can put the percentage, hours, or anything. So I'll put the count and then thousands maybe. And I can select the automatic maybe and submit. All right, so our project is rectifying here. So here is the thing, you can see one more things here. Right now I don't have defined the project manager. It should have there should have someone who should is managing this project should have assigned to as a project manager. This is the percentage of complete, which is right now 0, because if you see there is no project task which is right now we have created. We'll talk this part in the later. And if you see assignment groups and assigned to, we have not defined that. So here is the another things. If you go to the preferences, last time in the demand, if you see in the preferences, there are options to create or close the demand whenever the project is getting created, or the close the demand whenever the project is completed. So this option is there. Right now in the preference, there are many options. First option is that allow time card reporting on project and project tasks. So time card, we'll discuss the time card management after some times. And then another option is the update actual effort from the time card. So from the time card, if you see the detail sections, we have actually actual start and end date. So this will be populated from the time card or not. So that option is here. The calculation should happen automatically. The percentage completion should happen automatically or not. Show the program status report or not. So here is the another thing called derive assignee from the resource plan or not. So if you see here assign to right now, it is showing all the user who have actually the project role. So they are able to access this, they are able to set as assigned to. But if I check that derived from resource plan, so only the person who is added to the resource plan, they will be able to add into the assign to. Right now we don't have any resource plan, so we'll discuss the resource plan in next video. So right now our resource plan is blank here, and that's the reason we cannot select any of these user until unless there is any resource plan. So right now the none of the user is visible. Previously there are some user, so once I select that one, so it will be derived from the resource plan. Now here I'll go and bottom there is an option called recalculate score on the project changes. Whenever the project state will be changes, the calculation will be happens. This is the one of these all are preferences. If you want, you can change those details. Okay. One more thing I just want to talk here. The one bug or one things I noticed that the project phase, initialize, planning, execution, delivering, closing, these stages are coming from the project phase, which will be not affected till now. So which out of box this project phase will not be affected, but if you build your own customization, this phase can be affected. But for the out of box, if you create the project task, if you close the project task, it won't be affect anything on your project phase. So the out of box, this is nothing is happening. Now I simply open one more thing. Important thing is the project workbench. So project workbench is the actual planning console, or you can say that this is the place, centralized place where you can see actual project status. Okay, so you can see on the top my project name is showing, and this is the starting date, and this is my end date of the project. And right now nothing is there because there is no actual phases or there is no actual task is there. Okay, we'll keep on adding the task. So here the details, in the details sections you will be able to see actual project. Here you will be able to see actual details. And then analytics is that the options where you can see the reports. Now you can see here you will be able to see the actual reports. The right now risk is 1, change request is 1, this is status is green, percentage of complete is 0%, and the time elapsed is the 2%. This is the cost trend. You can see non-monetized versus the actual benefits. You can see here everything you can see in the graphical. So let's go back to the resource right now. So in this resource you can see everything is right now blank because we have not planned anything right now so far for this project. And if you go back to the financials, you will be able to see all the financial parts whatever we have put so far. So if you see the financial part, we have a budget. We talked about that capital budget is 5,000, operational budget is the 4,000, total budget is 9,000. Here the planned cost for this is the 1.5, and we have not start anything so far. That's the reason actual cost is right now 0. Planned return we are expecting that 8.5k. And this is our benefits that we can get. So these all the details we have. You can see that month wise the cost breakup. So we'll discuss further. Going back to the status report, right now there is no report. You can schedule the report. We can do that. Okay, let's go back and you can create the checklist from the project. It's like you can say that check manager is identify, resources are identify. So these are the checklist. Whenever the project will be executed, this checklist should be checked. Now going back to the planning console, Here you have one is the project one workbench. Another option is the planning console. Here we'll discuss further in this planning console. But let's say this is our. I'll just show you the overview. So this is the planning console, how that planning console looks like. If you see the what is the difference, the workbench is the straight line. Here is the planning console is that actually that how you can plan. So you can see this is showing the monthly, like for every day. You can minimize that and you can say that the quarter wise you want to see. So this is January, February, March. And here bottom you will be able to see our project is ended on the August and just started with the January. Here is the green small line which is mentioned that these are the overdue. It means that the date is already gone. These are the date already gone, and we can mark as a show critical path for the project we can do. So another cool feature is the planning console or the project workbench is that you can export this whole project, and then you can or else you can import the whole project. How we can do? Right click here, you can see that import from the MS project. So if your project inside in the MS project, you can import. Otherwise you can even export this project, complete project in the MS project format, or you can XML or CSV format. So this is the coolest feature is that is given by the ServiceNow, that you can export your projects. Even you can import the projects. Okay. So going back to our project, I'll first create one task which is called maybe I'll do a task. Here you can see this is the option to add the task, or else you can add the task below like that. You can select any of these options. So I'll click here and then I'll create a task. Now you can see that our project or our task is getting created, and if I right click here and if I click edit, you will be able to see the actual task details, and you can see there is a one red mark in the left side. You will be able to see that one red mark. It is means that it is overdue. What is mean the overdue? Means this task is not started yet. The date is already gone. So this is the current date today, and this uh, task start date is already back. I mean, it's already past date. So that is the, it means that it is overdue. You can update that. So I'll go here, edit. You can see this project task is state as is right now red because it is overdue. The state is by default pending state because we have not started. And this is the date. The start date is the supposed to be 14, which is gone already, and maybe end date is the, I'll put the today's date. Okay, and simply update that. Now you will notice that one small things or small issue or whatever we call that small benefits, that once I set the project task is start from today and starting from the 11th and it is end on today, it means that automatically project task another this project timeline is minimized because you can see it's ended on today only. So you will keep on adding, the project date timeline will be also keep on increasing. Okay, so you will keep on creating the task planning. You can keep on planning the creation of the task, and the project timeline will be keep on increasing. So this is our project. I'll quickly open that, and if you see that so if you see that dates here, so this is the starting date, which is the 14th, and the approved end date. Well, I mean that should be end by this one. This is our approved date, and right now we are able to plan so far on that 121, which is the today's date. So till now the day we are able to plan because in the project task our so far ended this is the one. So we'll keep on adding, and if you see, I'll open this task. Now you will be able to see that this task is basically the waterfall project task, because if I add that and add the phase type, so there is a phase type field, I'll add that, you will be able to see that what is the phase type for this one, and this phase is the waterfall model. So by default, whatever task will be created, the task will be the waterfall model. So I'll come here. So you can see this is the phase type, which is the waterfall model. So that's it for today. The next day we'll talk about the resource planning, and then we'll talk about that different type of project task we can create it, and then how from the project task it will be generate that story from the project task, how it can create that change request, and then how the project percentage is getting calculated, everything, resource plan, time cut, all those details we'll talk one by one. So that's it for today. Thank you very much. If you like my video, please like, share, and subscribe my channel. We'll talk to you later. Thanks. Back to my YouTube channel. I'm Rohit. Today we'll talk about that resource management. So in the resource management, we'll basically focus on that resource plan, and then the how it's affect the resource plans, how the resource plan affect our cost plan. So in the previous video, we talked about the demand, idea, project console, project workbench. Today we'll mainly focus on the resource plan and then how it's affect to our cost plan. So before we start that video, I would request you please like, share, and subscribe my video to your community. So let's get started today's video. So very first thing is that what I am going to do that this project was created from the demand, and last day I talked about that how we can see the project details on the planning console, the project workbench. So what I'm going to do here, I'll change this portfolio to that. This is the test portfolio, and this is the only project inside the test portfolio. So what I'll do, I'll change that to a digital business transformation, something like that, and save that. So before I talked about the resource plan, I want to talk a few things about the cost plan. So last day we talked about that cost plan is two type of cost plan. One is the capital expense, another is the operating expense. And whenever you are creating the cost plan manually, you have an option to select the capex and opex, and based on that, it's reflect your finance. It's reflect your planning capital and planning operating. I'll come here and then create a new resource plan. So once I'm going to create a new resource plan, what needs that resource plan? The very first thing is the resource type. So by default, it's a groups. So if you are looking for a resource which is coming from the groups, you can select the groups, user or role, whatever is you are looking for. Let's take an example of the groups. That is the most efficiently or most use case. And here I am putting the name equal to meeting management. So whoever is going to manage the meeting, for them I need a resource, because the first task we have created for the meeting task, right? So we are looking for a resource who are going to manage the meeting, and this is the starting date of the today's, and the end date of this is the definitely August is our project end date. So we'll put the 31st. Now what do we have to select? We have to select a groups. So I'll go and click that groups. You will be able to see that all the groups are not available. Only particular few groups are available who are actually for the resource group. I'll come here and maybe select the program manager. So program manager groups is going to manage these complete meeting things. And here I need the planned hours is the 100 hours. So let's take example for the 8 month. I'm planning for 100 hours for them. Now I'll click here and then open these groups. And this is the resource management view. You can see each member is the planning for 8 hours. Maximum they can work for the 8 hours. And then the hourly rate for these groups is the 200. So 200 into 100 is the 20,000 will be planned cost for this resource. So this is the resource plan will be cost is the 20,000. And these 9 members are actually added here, and they have their, or if they already in a different resource, it will be divided the plan, and it will be divided and the plan will be accordingly. I'll create this resource plan first and will show you the further. So once you create the resource plan, the very first thing is that you can see the state is the planning state. So it means that you are just planning. You will not even request the resource manager for this to review and approve that. So it's just in a plan state. And then if you see that there are many different 100, and this is the plan cost, I was talking about the 20,000. Now, what I'll do, I'll open this project right now and see what changes happens to the project. Once you open this project, you will be able to see under the resource plan, I have created one resource plan, and this is the plan cost is the 20,000, and it is running now planning state. The management or the groups is for that program manager. Now cost plan, there is a one more new entry is getting created, which is the meeting management and under the labor capex. Because the resource plan created, it will be copied over and show into the plan cost. And automatically the plan cost is added here to the 20,000, and that's the reason it changes the 21,000. And definitely, as it is added to the by default cost plan, the financial will be affected. Call it was previously 1,500, now it is 21,500. So once you add the resource plan, financial will be affected, cost plan will be by default affected. Now going back to the resource plan, what we'll do, right now this is in requested state. I'll scroll down. You can see this is the request allocation drop down, I mean the related list, where you can see monthly wise divided. Each month have a one record. It is starting from the January and ended with the August. It's have total 8-month period. Each month have a one entry for one month, you can see. And then that 100 hours is divided into the total 8 months. And now what you can see here, this is the planned cost, or I mean this is the person, and FT is the full-time employee, and then these are the person days. Okay, so each month it will be planned cost will be uh, this is the $2,600. Okay, and what you can see, so this is the person in days. It means that this 13 hours means that 1.63 persons in a day, person day. Okay, what we'll do, we'll change to this to requested. Once I change to the request state, you will be able to see these two options. One is the confirm and one is the confirm and allocated. So confirm and confirm allocated means that this is the 100 hours, whatever I am requesting is the confirm, and allocate means that I am going to allocate the resource. What I'll do, I'll go to the resource workbench right now. So let's take example, the resource manager now take a place. Okay, so resource manager can go and click the project and see this is the things they are requesting, or else requested manager can go and check that allocated, there is an allocation workbench. They can open both the options. In the allocation workbench, they can create a board for the particular groups or maybe particular projects. Okay, so let's take example for this one. I'm going to create a new for particular groups call. Now what we'll do, I'll go back to here, and this is the groups. I'll copy that program manager groups, and I can go to that here and set that program manager, and I can select that groups. Okay, so this allocation board is created for program manager groups. I'll open that program manager groups and I can see that. So resource manager can see in the two way. One is the by opening the resource plan and clicking the resource workbench. That is the one options. Another is that I can show you the allocation workbench, and allocation workbench you can put the groups. So in the allocation workbench, I put the groups is program manager, and that's the reason I can see these two projects. These two projects are actually you can see using these groups. These two projects, one is the program management, another is the SAP and ServiceNow integration. These two groups are actually going to use our program manager, and they are in the this is the request allocated state, and this is the requested state. Now, both the way it looks the pretty much similar. So I'll go and resource bench, and what we'll do, I'll confirm that the 100 hours, I'll change and confirm this state. Okay, so what it is saying that the confirm allocation will be confirm all the members of the group. Do you want to do that? I'll click OK, and it will be confirmed. So now once I confirm, you can see these groups, these 13 hours for the January. This is the January section. This January section, I'll open and so this January section have planned is the 13 hours, and then the confirm allocation for this this groups is 13 hours right now, and each member have get 2 hours, 1 hour, something like that divided. So now what you can do, you can just simply click the resource finder here, and it will be automatically show that this group's name is the program manager, and this is the available hours is available for this 1488 hours is available, and each member have these are the available, I mean the available hours. What I'll do, I will not divide it into the two or like that. What I'll do, I'll select this all and then zero, put the zero. So I'm doing for the January. Maybe for February, March, I can manually do that. Whatever is your preferences. Okay. Now what you will notice that I have two resources, which is the 2 and 2, which is 4, and that's the reason here it's one. You can say the warning sign is showing that the plan is partially confirmed. It's not completely confirmed. So this is the 13 hours is the plan, and actually the confirm hours is the 4 hours. Now going back to the resource plan, you can see this resource request details. You requested for 100 hours, but actually you get the 91 hours. You have not get the complete hours. Okay. So what I'll do, I will put the 11 hours to this particular user, and once it is done, you can see that there is no warning sign. Okay, and here you can see it is 100 hours only. Okay, after that you can change the state to allocate. So what I'll do, I'll go and confirm the state, I mean allocate the state. So right now this is the program manager groups, the 13 hours or maybe 100 hours is allocated. So I'll refresh that. So now this resource plan is allocated, and then if you see here, I'll refresh that backend here. The state is right now allocated, and then it's have the options called reduce, extend, and complete. So if you want to reduce the hours, you can reduce, you can extend, and maybe once your project is complete, you can complete this resource plan. Now, if I go back to the resource log, you can see the 12 resource card is created. I mean, 12 resource planning log is getting created. Whenever I make changes, it's created. And if I go to the resource allocation, so total I have the 8 months. So if I show any of these user, they should have 8 record created. You can see that 8 record is getting created. Now, if you see here the request details, you can see the confirm allocated cost is the 5,000. So that one thing I have noticed in the service now is that 5,000. I don't know how it is coming, but the each by default the each hours is the 50. So 100 into 50 is the 5,000. So that's they are calculating actually that we in the property the default value is the 50 hourly charges, but it should, I guess it should have come from that your groups, but somehow it is not calculating by default. You can change in your based on your requirement. Going back to your project, if I go here and then if I go to the finance sections, you can see that the plan cost again changes, because if you scroll down here, resource planned was 20,000, but if you see that in the capital cost, it's again changes to the 5,000 because of your resource plan changed to the actual cost is the 5,000. Because of that, it have changes to the 5,000. That's the reason. Again, the financial is changes, and it is right now showing that plan cost is the 6,500 is the operating cost, which is total is the 6,500. So that's the one thing. That's it for the resource plan. Once your project task is completed, your task is come over, like this project task I have created for the meeting setup. Once it is done, you should your resource plan will be, you can click that complete to resource plan will be completed, and then it will be resource will be deallocated, and they will be again work up for the next project. So that's it for today. We'll talk more about the project's time card, and we'll enhance the project in more in the next video. Thank you very much. If you like my video, please subscribe and share with your community. And if you want to get more notification, click on the bell icon. Thanks very much. Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Rohit. Today we'll talk about the project task. Last few days we talked about the project, we talked about the resource plan. Now we'll talk about the project task. So in this starting of the project, I told you that the project can be two types of project. One, basically three types of execution plan. One is the waterfall, another is the agile, and third is the hybrid. The point I want to make here, if I want to demo the waterfall model, you will be able to only understand the waterfall model. If I show the demo on the agile, you will only understand the agile. That's why I select the hybrid, because waterfall plus agile is the hybrid, so that I can show the demo on both that waterfall and agile. So without wasting time, let's get started. Before I start the video, I would request you please share with your community this video, and like, share, and hit on the bell icon to get more update on that ServiceNow. So let's get started. So in last day, I talked about the project task, and I have created one project task, which is the waterfall model. And if you see, whenever you keep on, I said that keep on adding the project task. Once you start adding the project task, the date will be keep on adding. The plan end date will be keep on adding. Plan start date will be the same, but plan end date will be keep on adding. And if you see right now, it is in red color because the plan end date is already gone, which is the 21. That date is already gone. That's the reason it is red color. So today we'll mainly focus that project task, how we can create the projects from multiple type of project task, and how we can work on those. One more information I just want to share with you guys: the project task or project itself can have multiple project. A project can have itself have multiple project. Even a project task can have multiple project tasks. It can be keep on adding, like tree bottom. Like one project task have another project task can have another project task. You can keep on adding the project's task inside the project task. Okay, so very complex scenario it can be happens. So that's the reason the each project task have a percentage. So this percentage will be completed whenever your child project task will be completed. So if you have three project tasks inside a project task, so these will be 100 project task will be 100 one and only if your child project task will be completed. All the child project tasks will be completed, and so once your all the project tasks will be completed here, your project will be 100%. So project is dependent on the project task percentage will be dependent on the child project task. Okay, so let's create some of the project tasks and see how it works. So very first thing is that I will go to this project console here, planning console. So this is the planning console, my planning console, and in here is a one bug is that you can't create agile project. Okay, so I'll here just check that and change to that key committee. Okay, but here the only challenge here that you cannot create the agile project, you cannot create the milestone, all those stuff. For that, what you have to do, you have to just go back and click the project workbench. Before that, I will save that changes. And the start with the 114 and it will be ended at 121, which the date is gone. Now, here, what we'll do, we'll create one more task called that requirement gathering, maybe. In this requirement gathering, what we'll do, we will create a task which is in the waterfall type again. So this is the first task is the waterfall. Again, I will create one more task called waterfall model, and that is the here I will select that requirement gathering. Now, if I scroll down in this project, I mean the project task during the creation, you can see that time constraint. What does it mean by time constraint? Let me click on that. This time constraints have four options. What does it mean by that? One, two, three, four. So start as app means that the start date will be the project first starting date, or maybe the planned start date. Project planned start date will be the start date for the start as up option. And you can see the keep this field is read only. Once I select the start on the specific day, the planned start date will be become the non-mandate, I mean non-read only, where you can put the specific date where you want to start your project. Secondly, start no longer than, once you select the start no longer than, again you can select the planned start date. So whenever it will become more than this date, it will become red color. Fourth option is the start no later than. It means that the project start date cannot be start more than that. Okay, so these are the options. So what I'll do, I'll select that start specific date, and this case I'll select the specific date is the 2020 maybe. Okay, so at that moment I'll click and submit that. So now you can see the kickoff meeting is started and it will be ended on the 21, and this is started on the 20 and it's ended. I will change this date. So I'll click edit here and then I'll change that date. So this is started on the 20 and I maybe need the 31st of the January till that, and then this is time duration is the 8 days, and where is the our project will be. So you can see the project timeline is getting increases right now because we are keep creating the task. Okay. After that, the requirement gathering is end. What we will do, we'll create one agile phase which is called development. So what I'll do, I'll create first a milestone, and here you can see there is two options here, milestone and key milestone. Milestone is something that where the project is achieved some phases. Okay, the project is reaches that some phases, that is called, we call the milestone. So our project is ended on the 31st. Our milestone will be that requirement gathering completed, something like that. And then this milestone will be I mean the start date will be the 31st. So on the 31st I am declaring that one of the milestone I am going to achieve, which is the project requirement gathering will be completed, and I will click save. So my first milestone, whenever I add the milestone, it will be in the green color, one green dot. Okay, so this is my project milestone is achieved. Now I'll create few more tasks here. This time I'll create that instead of waterfall model, I'll create one agile phase. And here, what will be my task is the development task or development phase. Okay, and that this will be start. It is not start as up. It will be start on the specific date, and the date should be here. I'll select that plan date, and the plan date will be the February 1st, and then end date will be February end. Okay, and then so now here I'll select a assignment groups. So let's select the assignment group is that HR integration or HR delivery team. I'll select that. Okay, so this team will be work and I'll just submit that. So you can see the project is keep on increasing. Now what we'll do, I'll create one more milestone or key milestone. What you can do, that will be promote to test or maybe promote to QA. And this will be the planned on that February maybe or maybe March 1st. Okay, and I am just putting that key milestone and submit that. Okay, so this is our key milestone, and then after that, what I'll do, I'll create one more task for testing, and in that case I'll select that here call Agile, and then I'll select that testing, and which will be started on a specific date, and then where I'll select that March 2nd to the end of the March. Submit that. Okay, so it's till end of the March we have planned. After that we'll do one more call testing complete, one of the milestone. So after testing complete, one of the milestone achieved, what we'll do, we'll create one more waterfall task, which is nothing but promote to test. Okay, promote to promote to prod, and this will be happen on a specific day or maybe no or later or no later than or no earlier than, and our specific date is that April 2nd, and it will be ended on maybe April 5. Okay, I'll click submit. So this is our complete projections. Now go back and change this to the project console, and you will be able to see the projection of that. So you can see this project is total timeline or total working days. You can see total work started time is a 58 days, planned duration is the 58 days, and this is the kickoff meeting, and before end of the kickoff meeting it have a one thing called requirement gathering, and after the requirement gathering it's have another milestone called requirement gathering completed. And what we can do here, you can see this is the red mark, it means that it's overdue, and means that the date is gone, because this is the complete the current date here. what we'll do here, the requirement gathering complete, we'll put that 2FS. It means that it's dependent. Okay, I'll click continue. So you can see this task, the requirement gathering completion task, will be only started after your completion of this one. And after that, what I'll do, I'll put this development phase 3FS. So after your this key milestone achieved, this task will be started. So let's save this project task and see. Now I'll go to the project right now, actual project, and see how this looks like. So now, if you see here, we have a 8 project task, which is the starting of the kickoff meeting. If you see here, it is starting on the kickoff meeting from this date, and which date is overdue, and after that it's have a requirement gathering, and then after your requirement gathering we are achieving one milestone called requirement gathering completed, and development phase, promote to QA, testing complete, and promote. So if I see the overall resource or overall things, what all we need, one, we need the manager who are going to manage the projects. One is the meeting, who are going to coordinate the meetings. One is the developer, one is the tester, and one may be the code promotion team or something like that. So I'll do, or maybe I'll plan for that resource accordingly, quickly. So let's quickly plan the resource. So where we are, if you see this resource plan we have already done, and which is ended in the 8/31, and this project is actually ended on that for April of 5, so we don't need that much time. So what I'll do, I'll go back to the resource plan and reduce their time. I'll go and reduce their time, and then instead of August, I'll do that April. So 5th is our project end. After that, I'll keep more few days, and then 8 I will end their date. Once I change that, you can see their duration will be changed, the cost will be changed, everything will be changed. Okay. All right then. So this is the meeting management, and I'll do that project management. Okay. Management team who will basically manage that complete project. I'll do that, and here our planned hour we have, I mean, it's reduced that 45 hours. So now what I'll do, I'll copy these groups and add to here. So here is the groups who will manage that completely program or maybe project. I'll select one of the user from there, and then the project manager, I'll select one of the project manager and save that. All right. So this is the project where our project is, I mean, that project, we have set it all the value right now. Now I have to plan other resource. So this is the one kickoff meeting and require kickoff meeting, and the management team is already done for that. What I'll do, I need a analysis who can get the requirement. I need a developer. I need a tester. These 3 resource I need. I'll quickly replanning the resource for them. Okay. I'll go back to that resource planning. I mean that planning here. I'll do and start resource plan. I'll click new, and groups, I'll select that. So you are able to see that 17 groups, because the groups who have the PPM resource role, those group only available. I'll show that. So if I go ahead and first I'll select the analysis groups, and this analysis time, if you see that the requirement gathering is planned started on the January 20 and it's end of the 31st. So I'll do that. So this is the one analysis group who will actually work for this one. Now I need the developer and tester. So I'll put the developer. And then after that, what I need a tester. So testing will be started, or testing will be started on third starting date of that March 2nd, and it will be end the March 31st. I'll do and create a tester. So all the resource, whatever I require, I have planned for them. Okay, and now I'll change their state to confirm and allocate maybe all the state. Right now I'm not doing much these things because we already discussed this point. All right. So now if I go back to that project resource plan, you can see that this project resource plan have these particular groups who are actually going to work for what. So this is the testing groups and this is the total plan cost. And now what I'll do, I'll go and then open one of the project tasks. Okay. And you can see definitely the cost plan also impacted. Okay. And now what I'll do, the financial part also will be impacted here. Now what I'll do, I'll go to the project task, and this is the kickoff meeting, and this meeting will be handled by so what I'll do things here. This resource plan, in this resource plan, program and requirement gathering will be done by analyst. I'll copy and paste here that requirement gathering will be done by analyst. Okay, and save that. Okay, and then the meeting will be done by, I'll put all these assignment group quickly. All right, so all the resource plan and everything I have assigned the particular groups. Now going back to this kickoff meeting, I'll go and then open the kickoff meeting, and then this kickoff meeting I will start as I'll change the work in progress. So if you change this task is work in progress, it does not affect the percentage. As I said, this percentage will be calculated either 0 or 100, or maybe the some point of time if you have the child task. So I don't have any child project task, so I'll close and complete that. So once I make this close complete and save that, the percentage of this will be 100%, and definitely here you can see the state is changes to the work in progress because the state was in pending. Right now it's changed to the work in progress, and percentage complete is right now 10.30, I mean 10 point something like that. That is calculated from our planning, I mean this plan started. Okay, so this was our plan start date, and then this is the actual start date and end date. Okay, so this is affected on, I mean the plan end date is automatically changed based on the actual start date and end date. Now I'll go back to the dates. This is our project dates, and if you see here right now in the planning, I mean the planning console, you can see the little bit dark green color. This is means that, I mean this is little bit dark green, it means that this task is completed and this yet to be completed here. And if I change this color to the, I mean this to the workbench, you will be able to see little bit difference. This is the green color happen, it means that this date, I mean this task is completed. Okay, and if I go back, and then you can see that the actual start date should be reflected. Let's see, let me refresh that. Now you can see actual start date is reflected on the today's date, and then planned start date changes because our planned date was different, but because of we started today, the planned start date is changed to today. This might need to be, you can fix that because the planned was different date, but that's out of box service, so that is behave right now that way. So now our this task is completed, kickoff meeting is completed. I'll little bit modify this one. So here requirement gathering, I'll change and put the requirement gathering and development instance is ready. Why I'm making these changes, I'll come to this in a quick. So there is a two task for this one. This project task is basically part of these two tasks. One, after this task, you see that the develop requirement is gathering completed and then development phase. So after this task, the project, project will be fall under this. After this requirement gathering, the project will be fall on the development phase, and in that phase the development instance should be ready for the developer, right? So that is very difficult, I mean that is very important, otherwise the project get delayed. So what I'll do, I'll inside this project task I'll create two tasks. This is the first task, and here the task's description should be requirement gathering, and I'll create one more task. That task, what will do, this task will do for development instance ready. Okay, so I'll copy this one and maybe create this one, and purpose of this task I'll come to that point, but I'll create this task and open and maybe change their date accordingly. I'll quickly do that. Now you can see this planned task was planned 20 to 31. What I did two tasks. One is the 20 to 25. Another task is the 20 to 31. And which are the child tasks for this one. Why I did? I'll come to this point. And now if I refresh this one, you will be see some differences. So requirement gathering have two tasks. One is the requirement gathering, another is the development. Development instance is ready. So these two tasks are created, and if I go and change to this here to the planning console, you can see if you see there is a highlighted here. If I click here, I will be able to see there is two more tasks which is supposed to be end, and then only our development and gathering will be this task will be completed. So what I'll do here, so let's see, this is the one, this is the requirement gathering phase, and these have two tasks, right? And this is right now is in zero phase. What I'll do, and if you see this state is right now pending, what I'll do here, these two tasks are definitely the waterfall task. So what I'll do, I'll make these two work in progress tasks. And after that, once I change the work in progress, you can see the parent task, which is changed to the work in progress. And so once I make this complete, this task will be closed complete. Okay, so there is nothing major really happens. I just want to show you that the percentage is reflected here. The right now the project task percentage is 33.33. Okay, now remember, when I talk, I will come to the development instance ready. This task. This is also waterfall model. I'll make something different to make you understand. So remember, during the previous video, I talked about that whenever your project task, whenever you are creating the project, there is a two type of task. One is the waterfall, another is the agile. So in the waterfall model, what you can do, you can create the change request. I talked at that about that point. So right now you can see this task is a waterfall model and this task is in pending state. What I can do, I can create a change request from this project task, because to ready a development instance, to create a development instance, I might need a change request. So what I'll do, I'll create a change request for that. I'll click here and it will be create a change request for me. So now you can see this change request is created for the development instance ready. If I go back to this here, you can see there is a called project task line, and which the project task line is showing the change request. Okay, so this change request is right now this project task control move to the change request. Now if I open this change request, if I open this change request, this task will be state will be work in progress. If I change this change request is the complete, then only this task will be completed. Let's see. I'll go and click the request approve here, and then here the few mandatory fields as per the change request form. So once I click the request approve, it's moved to that assessment state, and then after that I'll move to this. I mean, this change is waiting for approval. I'll approve that change. And right now it is in authorized state. Still it is in pending state right now because it's have not changed anything. Now I'll move to this change to, and there are few more approvals. I'll approve those. Now it is in schedule state, and if I go back, still is in pending state. I'll move to that implement state right now. After that, I'll now once I change to the implement state, the change, you can see the start, I mean the project task is changed to the work in progress state. And then if you see the here, this is already done, requirement gathering is already done. If I go back, you can see the percentage of complete is right now 44. It's increasing because it's in work in progress state right now. This task is completed. When it was completed, that was 33%. Right now this is in work in progress, and that's the reason it's changed to the 44%. And then I'll review and close that. This is the review, and before close there should be some mandatory fields. I'll put those information and close that. Once I close that, so this change is completed, and if you see the close complete, the project task is automatically close complete, and then it is 100%, and this should be also 100% because both the task is completed right now, so it is 100%. As it is 100%, our actual the project, this is the project portal enhancement, this is a project which should also a percentage should be increases, which is 24%. Previously it was 10% only, so it is affecting the percentage also affecting into the project. So these two tasks, waterfall task is completed. Our requirement gathering, I mean now our development instance is ready, our kickoff meeting is done, our requirement gathering is done. Our now next milestone should be that I should change to that close complete. Maybe as a program manager, I will make this close complete and say that requirement gathering is complete. I'll mark this 100% and this project. Okay. Now I'll go back to this here to that workbench, project workbench, and see if there is any differences happens on that project workbench. So you can see the project workbench, these two are completed. That's why it's a green mark right now. So these two are completed. Now our development should be started on this phase. Okay, our instance is ready and the development should be started. Now this is the development. If you see, we talked about the waterfall model, the agile model. What is the agile model? In the next video we'll talk about that, how we can create the story, how from this project task, how it can be interrelated with the story and everything. Okay, so thank you very much. That's it for today. If you like my video, please share with your community, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get the notification of these types of video. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Rohit. Today we'll talk about that agile task. So last few days we talked about that the waterfall task, and from the waterfall task how we can create a change request, and then once we complete the change request how the waterfall task can be automatically completed. So I would suggest, if you have not watched my previous video, go and watch this previous video, because this is a complex process. From where we create demand, we create idea, we create demand, we create the projects, we create the project tasks. These are the steps already we have done or we have discussed. Now today we'll talk about the agile project task, and from the agile project task, how we can create a story, how we can create the epics, and then how the automatically agile task can be closed complete automatically. So those steps we will discuss. So I'll request you everyone that if you like my video, if you like my content, please like, share, and subscribe, and click on that notification button to get more information. So without wasting time, let's get started. So if I go back to here, so these three tasks was completed, and now we are in that we'll talk about the agile task. So I'll open the project task quickly, and in this project task, you can see there is one button called redirect to top. So previous task, wherever we discussed that it was normal task, there was your options to um, create change request, but here we don't have any such options. We have a redirect to top. So whenever we click that, it directly land to our project. So now in this project, if you scroll down, you will be able to see one related link called Agile Planning Tracking. So that is the place where we can plan the story, we can create the epics, we can create the story. So I'll click here, Agile Tracking, and it will be open that Agile board. So once we come here, it's automatically create a backlog for you. What we'll do, we'll create some story here. So I'll click here. You can create a story, or else you can go and create epics, you can create a theme. So maybe for example, this is the backlog, this is the sprint, and this is the sprint tracking tab. So what we'll do, I'll go back to the backlog and create some story. Or else you can go back to your this project workbench, and you can see there is a three dot options, and here you can click the VTB to see the VTB board. Okay, so once you click that, it will be refresh and show you the VTB board. So I have to click here, and then I'll click here and click again VTB. So this will show me all the, from here directly, I can keep on creating my story under this development phase. Also, you can click the manage story button here. Once you click the manage story button, it will also redirect to that agile board, and here you need to create your own backlog for that. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll come here, and I can directly create some story here. I'll just go and create some story. Let's say I'll create a story here directly. So once I click new, you can see I can create the story directly here. Okay. And you can see the project phase is the development phase. It means that the project task that will be connected with this the development phase. I can select that. Similarly, if I go back and click create story here, so project phase, what project I have to select, that is the project phase is nothing but the project story that I have called development phase. I have to select the development phase, and let's create some story called form setup for incident. Okay, so that is my first story might be I have created, and I'll keep creating the story. So this is the first story I have created. Okay, I'll keep creating the story. So I'll create a story. Now go back to our actual, this is our project. Okay, if I refresh here, I will be able to see two story, and but this one doesn't have any phases. It means that if I go back to this project task in this project development phase, I will be able to see only one story, not the two story. So you can see this is the only story that is set up. set up, because project phase, once I select that will be available. I'll open that. I'll set up the project phase here. All right. So our project, I mean, our story is created. These two story are created. Similarly, in your VTP board, you can see right now it is showing these two story, and these two story are unassigned right now. If I click here and if I manage story, it will again open the agile board. I mean, the same type of agile board. Okay. From the backlog, these two story are created, and these two story are inside now backlog. What I'll do, I have to create the sprint, and inside the sprint I have to assign this story. For that, what we have to do, I have to go back to this here and type the agile, and this is the agile development. You can see this is the complete module. I have to click that agile groups here, and then I have to create a agile group for that. So for example, I'm creating a agile group called Java development. Okay. So this is the Java development. I am going to create that and submit. So basically, this is a record producer, and then this record producer have a role called it's added called the Scrum user, and then role added. Now what I'll do, I'll add myself inside that groups, and save that. Once I save that, I'll refresh that, and I should be able to see the backlog. So right now this lock button is gone. So I am able to see this. I am able to see that sprint planning board, and then there is no current sprint is running. So that's why it is locked right now. So what I can do, I'll create a sprint first. So maybe sprint time is from yesterday to today, or maybe 31st, and submit. I'll stay first phase. So this is our first sprint. Once our sprint is created, what I'll do, I'll click the start sprint. The sprint will be started right now. And this is our right now current sprint. So you can see this is the current sprint. And this is my backlog. All these backlog story are sitting on the backlog. I have to assign them to the current sprint. So I'll click here and then assign to the current sprint. So whenever you create the story can be created inside the backlog. Right now, as the sprint is running, you can select the sprint here. Now notice that I am not able to select any story which is in my sprint. Why? Because this is assignment group is the HR assignment group. From where it is coming, the project task is assigned to the assignment group. So I'll change to that Java development group. So this is not letting me to change that. What I can go back to this I can go back to this project and open that project first. Inside that assignment group, I'll change that to Java development right now. And then inside that, I have two story. And it's automatically changed to the Java development. Now I'll go and assign these two story to the Java development, that is phase I have created, the first page. So I'll click here the sprint from there and click that this sprint update, and this story also I'll plan to this sprint. Okay, update. So my all the story is right now, you can say that move to that current sprint, and this is my current sprint which is running on. Okay. Now what I can do, I will go back to this story and then I'll keep on updating the story. So I maybe this is my story, okay, and then if you see here, this print percentage is right now 0. We can keep putting the point right now, but here you can see this percentage of the project task percentage is 0, and this project will be the increase. The project task will be completed by completing of these two story. So what I can do here. Even you can put the start sprint and end sprint inside that if you want. I have not put that. So I'll open one of the task first and complete that and let you see that how it works. Okay, I'll open this task called a form setup and then I'll mark that story is completed. Okay, I'll change that and then I'll maybe select the complete, and here acceptance criteria is asking for mandatory. I'll select and save that. So this story, my first story, is completed right now. Okay, this story is right now completed, and if I go back, you can see this development project task is work in progress from pending to change to work in progress, and percentage completed is 50% because this one of the story is completed. Now, what else you can do inside the story? I'll show you that. I'll quickly refresh this board. So this is your agile board. Even you can go back to that BTB and you can see that. If you refresh here, you can see that BTB board also. You can see the development is 50% right now. It's changed and it have the 50%. It means that one of the story is completed. You can see this is the story which is completed right now. And the second story, what we can do, I'll open that second story. This is the second story. So I'll talk about the story now. So what we can do or what else we can do in the story. So this story, I am the developer, and this story definitely completing of this story from set to complete the ACL, create the ACL and complete for the incident, complete that this story. I definitely need a one thing called I need to create some development task. I need to create some maybe some testing task. Okay, what we'll do, I'll put this story point is 5 point, and then this I should be state as ready or maybe work in progress, and then let's first set the ready, and then I'll put this is acceptance criteria and save that first. So this is my story which is right now ready. Someone has to be walk that. So before to walk that, I can create some Scrum task. What is the Scrum task? The Scrum task is the task by which actually you can. I'll instead of that I'll go back to the backend mode. I'll show you that there. So you can see uh, right now it's showing the point. So this is the story which is 5 point. Each story can have some points. I'll open to the in the backend and I'll open this story right now. Inside the story, you can see we can create the Scrum task. So I'll click here and I'll click the Scrum task. Here you can see one, two, three, four, four option is there, and then here you can select the number of count. Okay, what does it mean by that? So it means that to complete this story, or maybe to create the ACL on the incident table, what I need the analysis, that where I need to be changed that. If I need two tasks for the analysis, I can keep on creating the task here. I need the coding, I need the documentation, I need the testing. For that, everything I can create some task. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll need the two coding, one documentation task and one testing task, and I'll click OK. So it will create some Scrum task for us. Okay, now this story is created with the short description is to do, and these are the type of the task. First is the analysis, these two are coding, one is the documentation task, another is the testing task. So I'll open one of these analysis task first here. And maybe this analysis task, in this group I am the only member. What I'll do, I'll select myself here and I will complete this task for me. First I'll move this work in progress and then I'll complete this task. So let's think about that. My analysis is done. I will save that. Similarly, I'll complete or close all my tasks inside that a story. So I'll go back to the story. I'll close task 2. I'll create another separate video for Agile 2.0 development. Till the time, it is the overview of the Agile development where you can create the story and then work on that. So once I completed this task, I'll go back to that actually project task. You can see the project task is previously 50%, now it is 83% because the story is keep on progressing. And now once I close that last task inside this story, the story should be completed and then percentage should be 100%. Let's see. So inside this story, the last task is, this is the last task. I'll close this task. So I'll complete this task. Once my task is completed, till now my story is in ready, but if I go back, my project task is completed and this percentage is 100%. So inside the story, whatever was there, everything was done. Whatever Scrum task was there, all the task is done. Although this is not happened because you out of box it is not working, you can complete this one. But once my these things is done, my project task is increases and the project task is completed. So this project task is completed. Now if I go and see that refresh my workbench, I can see this the project task is completed. This project is completed right now. Okay, although this is right now in ready state, I'll move this to complete here. So this is what might be one enhancement can be done in the ServiceNow. Now let's see what happens to our this board. Okay, so Agile board. I'll refresh that Agile board, and you can see this all the story is done. We can complete this sprint for the time being. I'll not go much details, but in this Agile board, but it can be completed. Okay, the first sprint is done. Okay, so now that way your development is completed. Now it's moved to the next track called a testing phase. In this testing phase, you can keep on creating this task, agile task, and complete that. I'll not do that. In the next video, we'll talk about that time card and timesheet. Those are the very important topic. After that, we'll complete the project task and all the project tasks, and we'll complete the project. So that's it for today. If you guys like my video, I would request you to please subscribe my channel and hit on the bell icon to get these types of video. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Rohit. Today we'll talk about the time card and timesheet. So this is the project we are talking last few days. the portal enhancement which is created from the idea. So now today we'll talk about that a time card and timesheet. So we'll talk that why the time card is important and how the timesheet is integrated with the time card. So if you see in the preferences, we discuss about that. Here we have a options called update actual effort from the time card. It means that if I go to the dates here, we have a actual effort field here. This actual effort field will be calculated based on the time card. So how many time card we have expended or how many time sheet the people will fill, based on that this actual effort will be updated. So without wasting time, let's get started. So very first thing is that this is my project, and the time card manager who have that access to the time cards, they will create the time card for particular member. So let's take example that this project which is managing by this user, right? For this user, we need to create some time card for that user. So let me duplicate this tab here. And what I'll do here, I'll come back here at the bottom and I'll create a time card for that user. Okay, so for example, this is the one project and the user, I'll select this is the project, I'll select the project number as a task, and the user is this one, and set that user. And then I'll create a time card for that user. So now you can see this time card state is in planning state. So for each and every user who will actually work in this project, we should have create time card for that. So time card is not only can be created in the project, even in the project task also time card can be created. So I'll open one more here, the time card, project task. So maybe this is the one of the project task which is right now, this project task is maybe assigned to myself. I have not put my assigned to for the time being. Here also we can create the time card, okay? So you can directly go and create the time card into the project task, or else you can create, inside the project, or else you can create the time card inside the project task, okay? So let's remember that we have created one time card for this user, okay? Now, if I go back to the project right now, I'm not going to create the time card in bottom of this project task. I'll tell you that. So basically, if you remember the timesheet, let's talk example of the timesheet. So in the timesheet, what else we have? We have two options. Very first in the assigned task, another is the unassigned task. So sometimes your manager or the project member, they don't assign any task. You yourself find the task and assign yourself. That is the unassigned task. Otherwise, another option is that the manager or the resource manager, they assign a task and you just fill the time on that. So both the way it can be worked. Let's take example. This is the one time card that is for the user is this one they have created. Okay, I'll change this name to my name to, for example, okay, I'll put my name here. Okay, my beat is not coming. I'll create directly here, and for one of these project, maybe I'll copy here and paste here and save that. Okay, so remember that two things happens. One, there is no resource plan for me because why the resource plan is not assigned, because in this project I don't have, whatever resource plan is attached to these here in this project, whatever resource plan attached to this, I am not part of any of this member. I am not part of any of these groups. Okay, for this resource plan, these are the groups for the resource plan. I am not part of any of this group. That's why for my time card, resource plan is blank. For this user, the resource plan is pre-populated from 1 013 because this user is the part of this program groups. That's why it is pre-populated. So that's the one more information. So let's the things I am talking about that. So here we have created a time cut for the user, myself, for this project task. I mean this project, and the same project I have created another time cut or another task for this user. Okay, but let's take example, a simple example. This project, in this project I also work, and I also work for this project task, but my manager did not assign any time cut for me for this project task. Okay, how the project task work? So I'll go to the timesheet first. Okay, so there is a one more called thing called timesheet portal. I'll go here, timesheet portal. Once I go to the timesheet portal, based on the available or based on that right now, based on the assigned task, you can see what task is assigned to me. Okay, so this is the one time card which is assigned called project, this one. Okay, I'll copy and search here. So this is the portal enhancement which is available. You can see this is the project which is assigned here, and I can still fill the timesheet for that. Okay, what I'll do, I'll here put the timesheet called 9 hours. Maybe I work for the 9 hours. Okay, so once I put the timesheet, the project and project task time is keep on changing. Okay, so here you can see right now project task is 42 hours. I'll put one more 9 hours, and it should keep on increasing. The time is keep on increasing. Okay, and now if I go back to the timesheet that is actually assigned, you can see this time is getting changes. Okay, total for this time card I have worked 18 hours, and right now you can see this state is right now pending. So what happens when for me this is my timesheet, and these are the all the tasks I have worked. So if you see here in last video I worked on this one to do task. This is the one I want to add into timesheet. I can add here, and then I can keep putting that effort here. Okay, I'm keep putting my effort, and after that what I'll do, I can submit here. Okay, I can select and I can submit here. Or else if the task is not I mean if you're not able to find that task which is I mean sometime we have a meeting for that also, we go it goes to our time, right? So we can keep adding all those also here. I can add those things here also. Okay, so this is my timesheet, and what I can do from there, I also can add the unassigned task. Okay, so yes, I also can add some task which is not assigned. Maybe the last time I talked to you that the time card can be assigned by time card manager. Let's take an example for this project task or for this project task. Someone don't assign anything for me. Okay, if I go back to the timesheet portal and if I search here, I cannot find anything for me because nobody assigned me this task. I can keep also put the assigned task for me here. Okay, I can put the task number, and then I can keep put the effort on that on behalf of that. Okay, so here I can put the time, I put the 9 hours. So this is the unassigned task. Okay, once you put everything, you can click the submit. Okay, once you so you can see the maximum 24 hours. The Thursday we spend more than 24 hours, so we have to be changed somewhere. Now you can see our total is that this is the Thursday 23 hours, Wednesday 23 hours, Monday 18 hours. Now I can submit this timesheet. Once I submit this timesheet, the timesheet had three timesheet is submitted. Let's go back to here. You can see this timesheet is right now is in submitted state. If I refresh here, the timesheet is submitted and then it's generate the approval. So who have, I mean, now go back to this project. You can see this is our project, and this project right now, for example, have maximum two timesheet. One is for the story, another is for that. Let's so this for this one, the four timesheet is there and all are in submitted state. What we can go do, I'll open, maybe the person, they will open that time card and they will approve. So timesheet approver have the option or ability to approve the timesheet. Once they will approve or reject it based on their understanding. Okay, so whoever is the actual user, they are submitting their timesheet, and once they have filled, it will go for the timesheet approver. Okay, for each task, or maybe you can say for each different task, it can generate the time card. Okay, now actual effort is 0. If I this time for this task, it have the 9 hours. So if we approve that, it will actually, it will update the actual effort. So I just approve this one, this time card I have approved as a time card manager, and you can see the actual effort is updated. So I'll add that task here. So you can see that for this task, this 10, this project task, the actual user submitted the 9 hours and then it is processed. So it is processed, and that's the reason that the actual effort also updated. Once your time card or your timesheet is approved, you can see there will be one, you can say the expense line will be generated. This is 45 hours, $45, which is in pending state. So expense line will be generated. Let's keep, let's submit few more here. For this one, the people have submitted I have submitted 9 hours. Once I have approved this one too, so if I go back, the actual effort should be 18 hours. You can say the actual effort is 18 hours because this 9 and this 9 is processed. If I save here, so two are processed, and expense lines, if I, you can see two expense lines is generated. And it is in pending state. So 9 hours into 9 hours, 18 hours, 18 into 50 is the 900, I mean, this is the $900 is expense we have right now, we can see. So this is the expense line. So this is the expense line, which is right now in pending state. I'll open that expense line and then maybe process that, okay? Once we process that, the expense line, you can see it will definitely affect our actual cost. Right now, actual cost is 450. So this is the one expense line which is processed. If I keep refreshing, so this is the one expense line which is processed. I'll open another one which is in pending, and I'll change the status to process and save that. Once I save this process, you can see that actual cost is also updated here, and then this is the state will be processed and actual cost will be updated. So that's why time card, actually using the time card, two things happens. One is the expense lines generated, actual effort will be updated, and actual cost will be updated. That's it for today. I hope you guys like my video. If you like my video, please like, share, and click on the share button. And if you also want to get more update on these types of video, hit on the notification button. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Rohit. Today we'll talk about that portfolio and program. So last few days we talk about this project. This is the portal enhancement project. We about to complete all our agile tasks. We about to complete all our waterfall model. And if you see, pretty much we have complete few of our tasks, which is, I can see So far it is completed this part. We'll close today all these project tasks today also. But before we jump to that conclusion, we'll also need to be talked about that portfolio and the program. So let's get started. So, if you see my slide, what we are talking here, the portfolio and program. Portfolio, create a portfolio to manage related program, project, and demand. So, portfolio is the to manage that related programs, projects, and demand. What is a program? A program helps you to logically group related to projects and demands. Basically, if you see in the top in the diagram, this is the ServiceNow diagram. What it is saying that the portfolio is in top. So let's say in your organization, you are the development or digital team. So this is your portfolio, and in this portfolio, there is every year many program going on. One is the enhancement program, one is the defect fixing program. There are many programs. So these are all are, you can say, this is all of the program. So this is your project. This is your portfolio, which is you own the portfolio manager. So this is called the digital marketing is your portfolio. And inside the digital marketing, every year many programs going on. One is the enhancement, one is the defect fixing, and that could be that reusability component. So these are the programs. So program is nothing but the logical groups of related demand. So inside the program we have a demand and we have a project. So which is whenever you complete your project, it definitely reflect your portfolio that the portfolio is growing up. Whenever your once your I mean whenever all your projects or demand is closed, automatically your program will be automatically closed. So in a year there might be many program and the program will be closed in simultaneously. The portfolio will be on the program, project, and demand. Okay, so let's go to our service and I'll show you that. So if you see here in this our project called portal enhancement, we basically selected the portfolio called digital business transformation. So what is that? So this is one of the portfolio which is holding that all the digital transformation for the timing. And if you open that portfolio, there will be many demand, many projects. And inside the portfolio also could have program. So you can see these are all the demands which is running inside this portfolio. These are the project which is running inside this portfolio. And there is no right now program, but logically it should have some program. So portfolio will create some program, and inside the program there will be projects. And all the risk, issue, cost plan, everything will be shown here. And as a portfolio manager, I can see my PMO dashboard. So we can click here, and this will show you that portfolio, PMO dashboard. Now you can see in the PMO dashboard, you can see that graphical or it's a report which can show you that how many active project is going on, what is the plan beneficiary, everything you can see in this dashboard. Even you can go to the pipeline to see that what project is on which pipeline, you can see here. So all those stuff as a project, portfolio manager, you can see everything. Okay. So let's now talk about that. What is a program? One, why? As I said that if you see in the document, the portfolio is on. The portfolio is, program is logically group related demand. So if you have multiple demands, we logically relate to a program. Although there is no, I have selected that wrong program, but if you go back to the program have similar kind of demand. Each program can have demand. So if you are running a program called one of the camping or the enhancement camping program you are running, they have static phase, they have to have multiple tasks. So this is my program, and you can see each program can have multiple tasks, and the program can also have the demand, the projects. Okay, program will hold the demand and project. Whenever all the demand, all the project tasks will be closed, all the program tasks will be closed, automatically this program will be closed. So you can see the program has the phases, the percentage of completion, financial part, and the program manager, and program contains a portfolio. The program you need to be put the portfolio inside the program. Okay, so whenever, I mean, the program can be closed, but definitely portfolio never will be closed. Portfolio is a bigger picture in your system. So that's it for this program and portfolio. I'll today what I'll do, I'll close all these tasks, which is maybe these are the tasks is pending. I'll simply close these tasks and then I'll show you that how it looks like that. So now one more thing I just want to highlight here, that if this is the CSI program which we are running, right? We are running. So this program, the portfolio enhancement is running under this program called CSI. And if you go back to the CSI, these are the project, this is the project, I mean program task which is created manually. This is the demand we have created under the CSI. And if you hover up the stages, you can see that it's work in progress. Project is right now work in progress. Once your project will be closed, the program percentage will be enhanced. So let's see. So this is our project here. So you can see right now the project workbench. So far we have completed this one, and then we'll close all these our testing phase, and then our production movement. We'll close that. And if you see that analysis part, I want to show you that how the analysis will looks like before I want to close that. So this is right now, if you go back to the analysis, although I said that the phase are not working in the project right now, but project completion is the 58% and the time elapsed is 26%. So right now this is how it looks like that. We'll close all our tasks and then I'll show you that, I mean in the project task, I will show you that how it looks like. I'll quickly go to the project right now and close everything. So right now you can see all these tasks I have closed complete, and the project percentage is the 100%. You can see this is the complete project which is done everything. Now we'll simply go back to our project workbench and see how it looks like. I just want to show quickly. Now you can deallocate the resource if you don't need the if you don't need the resource anymore, you can just allocate those. Now, if we click here the project workbench, we should be definitely see the status of this our project. So I'll quickly go to the, I mean, you can see everything is completed right now. If I go to the analysis right now, percentage of the project is completed 100% right now, and the time elapsed is 100%. Everything is showing right now. Now if you go back to your program, and you can see this is your program, and inside the program previously the project, it was showing the project in progress. Right now it is saying that, right now it is saying that the project is completed. Okay, so right now it means that this program, the project is completed. Now you can complete your program because your program is completed, right? Your project is completed. So our program task was that project status. Will simply complete this project, I mean program task. From here I'll go and complete this program task. Once we completed the program task, you can see the plan start date, plan end date, everything is completed here. Now, normally it should have complete this state, but it is not working. So, I mean, it is not showing as completed. You can manually go and complete this program, which means that your program is also completed. Once you complete it, it means that your program is completely done. Okay, and now this is your portfolio. Inside the portfolio there was no definitive program, but I mean it could have effect if it is inside have some program. Okay, so that's it for this project and this program, this portfolio demand and all these tasks. Now I just want to show one more quick things, that if you go back to here type the project here, there are two more things inside that. One is the investment plan. If you click here, investment portal, you can see these are the I mean these are the portfolio which is the currently showing. Okay, and here you can see the how many demands itself in this portfolio, how many project it have inside this portfolio, what is the cost, each and everything you can see. And once you click this one of this portfolio, you will be able to see that total all these projects, all these demands, everything you can see here. Also, you can click, if you see in the top, there is a one more thing called project workspace. If you click the project workspace, all the project which is basically you are that, I mean that you are the, I mean the, you can see this is the filter. All the project will be available here, and you can see the details, I mean status, the phases, the percentage, everything you can see in the top, and even you can create the project on right side of the top. So that's it for today. I hope you guys like my video. This is the complete series of this your PPM module. If you have any question, please let me know in my comment sections. Please like, share, and subscribe, and share with your community. Thank you very much. Have a great day.